Alright, so it's the next day, guys. We're out here doing part 2. We got the valves out and just cleaned them up on the lathe real quick. Not the surfaces, just clean them. And what Grandpa did was cut a slit here with the Dremel. It just makes it a whole lot easier because they're such small valves than trying to do it with the suction cup hand style. So now we're just going to do a hand valve seat with just some valve compound. So I'll get you guys set up. Got my son over here trying to help us. He's over here cleaning the lathe. So I'll get you over here ready to lights on your face. Alright guys, we'll be back here in a few minutes. Alright guys, if you can hear me over my son. We got this one cleaned up pretty good. They're actually in pretty good shape, so we're just going to hear it run and then we're going to pull it apart and restore it later anyway. So for right now, my son's measuring everything for us. But we lapped them inside the seats. Now we're working on the intake. Then we'll go ahead and pop the valves back in real quick. Alright, so now we're adjusting the valves, guys.
Valves.
We just had to, since we resurfaced them, it dropped the seat down, so it's going to tighten your valve clearance. So now we're just hand filing them to get them down to the 8 thousandths. It's like 8 and 10 or 8 and 12 or whatever. So we're going to go ahead and get that done, and then we'll pop the springs back in when we're done. Alright, so we scraped. We've got the valves back in, guys. Not too bad. 2 people makes it a whole lot easier. We also scraped the carbon out the top of the piston. Yesterday I remember I had that hard spot and it was just a little carbon ring around the top, so we did just a little bit on the beveled part of the cylinder, and we also got all the other crap off the top of the head, and as we were doing it we vacuumed it out. We're going to reuse the same head gasket just because it's already on there. Like I said, we're just getting running, and then we're going to go ahead and restore it later on. So now we're going to put the head on and recheck the compression. Alright guys, once I get you set up here, Grandpa's over there cleaning up on the head. It's almost like it's a really soft, like a putty knife type thing. But that's what he always uses. It's not strong enough to even scratch the aluminum, but just getting all that carbon off there and then clean up where the head gasket was. We'll get it all cleaned up, and then we're going to sit on and check for compression. Once we do that, I went outside and grabbed the electric impact. We're going to zip that flywheel off real quick, and then we're going to check for fire, probably clean the points, or maybe have to change a condenser or something. But after that, we'll be ready for fuel and fire and be ready to start. So, see you guys in a little bit. Just want to show you where we're at. We got family coming in for the holidays, so everything's busy around here. But we're still making a little headway.
Gotta get the important stuff done.
Yeah. Alright, so we got the valves all back in. We had to build a gasket here for the little valve cover, I guess you'd call it. And then we just put the head, we cleaned the head up. I was going to do a little video. We just scraped it clean, like I showed you there. And stuck yeah, exhaust about to break. But we squirted a little oil in the cylinder as we were putting it together, and then put a little more on, and I hold my finger over the hole. For a little teeny tiny ½ inch or inch and a half piston, it's got a little bit of compression, so should fire off. Now we're going to pull the flywheel and get working on to check for a spark. So once it starts, I think that little hard spot in the very top will slow down. So we'll see you guys back here in a few minutes. Alright guys, real quick, Grandpa just pulled the flywheel off. Just took the nut off, then left it on a little bit. You hold pressure up against it and tap it with a brass hammer. These ones are so small they crack right loose. And we cleaned the points, got all the debris off of the the outside and stuff here, so nothing falls in there. And we just sprayed them off and cleaned them with a little bit of the ether or starting fluid or whatever. And now we're getting ready to go ahead and put it back together and check for fire. So we'll see you guys here in a few minutes. Points are clean. Put the points cover back on. The little shroud there. Now we're cleaning up the flywheel, the little rust spots, and then we're going to clean up the magnets on the bottom of the, I guess you consider like a stator coil. So we'll get those cleaned up and we'll pop the flywheel back on. And then we're going to just check for fire. If we've got fire, we're ready for fuel. Alright guys, hope I don't get you too close. Hope I get you close enough. I'm going to crank it over real quick and check for fire.
You see it?
Yep, you see right there. Yep. Nice blue spark, so she's ready to fire off. We just need some fuel. So tomorrow we'll clean up the gas tank and the carburetor a little bit. And we just put oil in the, sorry guys, just put oil in the crankcase. So should be ready to be fired up tomorrow morning or tomorrow afternoon, wherever we get a chance to get to it. So everything's pretty good so far. The compression seems to be staying. Once it starts, it'll burn the rest of that carbon off and break it up, and we'll have really good compression. So shouldn't be any reason why it wouldn't start. Just got to figure out carburation and fuel. So we'll see you guys next time.